Good morning, everyone. I hope that you're having a great day. Today, we are going to be continuing the reading in our textbook. This week, we're reading something a little bit different, though. We are going to be reading about the Paralympics. Now, this is considered a non-fiction text. It is true. It's based on real events. That's what a non-fiction story is about, okay? A fiction story, which is what we normally read, would be something that's make-believe. It's not able to actually happen, or it really didn't happen. But the Paralympics is nonfiction in that it really does happen. It happens every 4 years, just like the Olympics do. Now, you may have heard of the Olympics. The Olympics is a giant sporting event for people from all over the world come and they compete in many different sports. There's events like horseback riding, which would be considered equestrian. They have archery, they have football, they have cricket, they have anything you can think of. They probably have it at the Olympics, and many other sports that you probably have been like, that's really a sport? It sure is, and they compete in it. Okay, so the Paralympics is the same idea. It's a giant sporting event, but this is special in that it is solely for people who suffer from or have impairments, meaning they might be missing arms or legs, or they might have limited range of motion, or maybe they're blind or deaf or unable to speak. Maybe they have mental impairments. Whatever it is, these people are allowed to compete in the Paralympic Games. They are still athletes, and they are still competing at a national level, but they just look a little different, okay? So that's what we're going to be reading about in our nonfiction story this week. While I'm reading it to you, I want you to pay attention to a few things. I want you to think about who created it, why did he create it, where did he create the first Paralympic Games, and when, okay? I want you to think about what it looks like now and how it's still happening. All right, we're gonna get started now. I hope you enjoy, and I want you to keep those few things in mind. Chapter 5. The only disability in life is a bad attitude. Scott Hamilton. Sports have always played a major part in everyone's life. Why then should it not be a part of the lives of people who are physically challenged? Why should it be a challenge? Why should a challenge stop someone from participating in a sport that they love? These were the thoughts behind the birth of the Paralympic Games. The Games gave an open field to such people and helped them enjoy different types of sports. The Games were specifically created for people with impaired muscle power, leg length difference, faulty vision, and various other challenges that made it difficult to participate in national and international level sports. The earliest athlete with a disability to participate in the Olympics was German-American gymnast George Iser. He had a wooden leg, but that did not stop him from winning 6 medals in the 1904 Olympics. The idea of having separate Olympic Games for the disabled first came from the war veterans of World War II in 1948. Now remember that a war veteran is someone that served in the war or in a war. These games were called the International Wheelchair Games and were held in London. Most of the war veterans who participated had spinal cord injuries and were in wheelchairs. German-born Dr. Ludwig Guttmann from Stoke Mandeville Hospital was the person to organize these games. Remember that. He wanted to create a platform for disabled people who wish to participate in sports. This encouraging idea expanded to become the Paralympic Games and was soon a regular feature, with a large number of participants from all over the world. These games were almost as grand as the Olympics and were governed by the International Paralympic Committee, or IPC. The word Paralympic was coined from two words, para, meaning beside or along with, and Olympic. As the games gained popularity, the number of sports also increased. Currently, some of the categories in the Paralympics are athletics, cycling, archery, equestrian, which means horse riding, football, powerlifting, rowing, sailing, shooting, swimming, etc. Sheer enthusiasm and healthy competition is witnessed at all levels of the competition. The only problems that these games face is the lack of funds. There are very few organizations who wish to support this cause, and the Paralympics are still struggling. They are striving to get equal treatment as non-disabled Olympic athletes. So they're having trouble getting money in order to create the same level for these disabled athletes as non-disabled athletes. The number of participants for the Games has grown in large proportions. From a mere 400 in Rome in 1960 to an estimated 4,350 from 160 countries participating in the 2016 Paralympic Games in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. This shows how popular the games are. They are not just games, but a platform for people who are physically challenged to show their potential. The Paralympic Games work on the motto, Spirit in Motion. Each Paralympic game has its own symbol and motto. The current symbol for the Paralympics contains 3 colors, red, blue, green. Colors that are most widely represented in the flags of nations around the world. These 3 symbols circle each other to show agito, meaning motion. It shows the effort of bringing people from all over the world together. The Paralympic anthem is Hymne de l'Avenir, or Anthem of the Future. It was composed by Thierry Darny. All right, that's the end of our short little section on the Paralympics. Some things I want you to have to pay attention to. Now, like I said, a war veteran is someone who served in the war. So originally, the Paralympics was created for these people who served in World War II to continue participating and competing in sports. So it was originally created by a man named Dr. Ludwig Gutmann, okay? And he worked at a hospital in London with these war veterans, okay? And the games were originally called the wheelchair games, okay? Because most of the veterans were in wheelchairs and unable to walk, okay? So that's how it was created and why it was created. Now, it now is called the Paralympic Games, okay? They compete every 4 years, but in between the years, they have smaller little games, okay? And you work your way up, just like a normal competition. Normally, we work our way from maybe our school level to our district level to our state level to our national level, and then we go international in a normal competing. So it's the same way, okay? And these international games, meaning all over the world, they compete every 4 years, okay? The last games were held in Rio de Janeiro in South America and Brazil, okay? Now, the Paralympics, their motto, or what they go by, or their slogan, basically, that tells the heart of the organization, okay? So the motto is spirit in motion, okay? And their symbol, okay, the 3 lines, you'll see it in your book, and I'll also put a picture. The symbol has 3 colors, red, blue, green, and it symbolizes motion, or the act of bringing people together from all over the world who struggle with these disabilities or who have these disabilities. Now, that's all I have for you today. I want you to make sure that you are answering your questions in 2 places, okay? So first, write the questions down in your classwork notebook and answer them. Using your own words, answer the questions, okay? And then what you write down, I want you to submit to me in Google Classroom. That way I can see what we still need to talk about, or whether you're understanding how to answer questions in your own words. All right. I hope you have a wonderful great day, and I hope you really enjoyed learning something new today. All right. Have a wonderful day.